Good morning, ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls. We have breaking news. The assassin, assassin, assassin of Charlie Kirk has been identified. Yes, indeed. It appears to be the same guy. It appears to be the same guy. We're gonna go straight into hearing the FBI and their news briefing. But before we go in, I always like to say or give a disclaimer that as you come into the building, go ahead and hit the thumbs up. Go ahead and hit the like button. Also, feel free to give a comment in the comment section or on the replay. Be mindful that you need to be respectful over here on this platform in your comments. No cursing, okay? Also, be respectful to the host at all times, okay? You have freedom of speech over here. You can express your viewpoints, but you must always remain respectful to the host. I have no political affiliation with either side, Republican or Democrat. I have stated to you all that I do feel that this nation is rearing y'all into a one world order. And as you get to know me and follow along as I show you exactly where this nation is headed, you might just be able to save yourself or your family if possible. Okay? So as I get this queued up, once again, Charlie Kirk's assassin has been identified. Let's go to the report.
Today we're talking Replit and Notion.
I'm going to get past these commercials. As you enter the building, make sure you hit the thumbs up. You can subscribe to this channel, subscribe today, so that you can always stay connected and keep your ear to the ground, like myself, with the latest updated news.
You know who really loved Charlie? FBI Director Kash Patel and Sheriff Mike Smith. We also have with us Utah DPS Commissioner Bill Mason, Lieutenant Governor, Special Agent in Charge Robert Bowles, and local and federal law enforcement partners. Following the remarks today, Governor Cox, Director Patel, and Commissioner Mason will take questions.
Hit the thumbs up as you come into the building. Participate.
Good morning, ladies and gentlemen. We got him. On the evening of September 11th, a family member of Tyler Robinson reached out to a family friend who contacted the Washington County Sheriff's Office with information that Robinson had confessed to them or implied that he had committed the incident. This information was relayed to the Utah County Sheriff's Office and scene investigators at Utah Valley University. This information was also conveyed to the FBI. Investigators reviewed additional video footage from UVU surveillance and identified Robinson arriving on UVU campus in a gray Dodge Challenger at approximately 8:29 a.m. on September 10th, in which he is observed on video in a plain maroon t-shirt, light-colored shorts, a black hat with a white logo, and light-colored shoes. When encountered in person by investigators in Washington County on September 12th, in the early morning hours, Robinson was observed in consistent clothing with those surveillance images. Investigators interviewed a family member of Robinson who stated that Robinson had become more political in recent years. The family member referenced a recent incident in which Robinson came to dinner prior to September 10th, and in that conversation with another family member, Robinson mentioned Charlie Kirk was coming to UVU. They talked about why they didn't like him and the viewpoints that he had. The family member also stated Kirk was full of hate and spreading hate. The family member also confirmed Robinson had a gray Dodge Challenger. Investigators identified an individual as the roommate of Robinson. Investigators interviewed that roommate, who stated that his roommate, referring to Robinson, made a joke on Discord. Investigators asked if he would show them the messages on Discord. He opened it and showed several messages to investigators and allowed investigators to take photos of the screen as each message was shown by Robinson's roommate. These photos consisted of various messages, including content of messages between the phone contact named Tyler with an emoji icon and Robinson's roommate's device. The content of these messages included messages affiliated with the contact Tyler, stating a need to retrieve a rifle from a drop point, leaving the rifle in a bush, messages related to visually watching the area where a rifle was left, and a message referring to having left the rifle wrapped in a towel. The messages also refer to engraving bullets and a mention of a scope and the rifle being unique. Messages from the contact Tyler also mentioned that he had changed outfits. I know there has been speculation as well as to the writing on those casings, those bullet casings, and I believe we have that as well. And I'll share that with you now. So the area north of Campus Drive Road where the suspect crossed over, you saw some of that in the video that we released last night, consists of a grassy area with trees on the edge of the UVU campus. Investigators discovered a bolt-action rifle wrapped in a dark-colored towel. The rifle was determined to be a Mauser Model 98 30-06 caliber bolt-action rifle. The rifle had a scope mounted on top of it. Investigators noted inscriptions that had been engraved on casings found with the rifle. Inscriptions on a fired casing read, "Notices, bulges, capital OWO, what's this, question mark." Inscriptions on the 3 unfired casings read, "Hey fascist, exclamation point, catch, exclamation point." Up arrow symbol, right arrow, and symbol, and 3 down arrow symbols. A second unfired casing read, "Oh Bella Chow, Bella Chow, Bella Chow, Chow Chow." And a third unfired casing read, "If you read this, you are gay, LMAO." We are indebted to law enforcement across the state who's worked seamlessly together, local law enforcement, state law enforcement, and our federal partners with the Federal Bureau of Investigation. We're grateful for everyone who worked together in such a short amount of time to find this person and to bring justice. I want to thank the public who has been so engaged, reviewing videos, helping us with sending in tips, and helping us get to this point. I want to thank the family members of Tyler Robinson who did the right thing in this case and were able to bring him into to law enforcement as well. I especially want to thank the family of Charlie Kirk, Erica, Charlie's parents, his children. I want us to be thinking of them as we bring justice in this case. They will be involved in that justice. We will be working very closely with them as we move through this process as well. This is a very sad day for our country, a terrible day for the state of Utah, but I'm grateful that at this moment we have an opportunity to bring closure to this very dark chapter in our nation's history. With that, I will now turn the microphone over to the Director of the FBI, Kash Patel.
While we are going to break, they're getting their coins. It's a commercial break. Go ahead and subscribe today. Go ahead and subscribe today. They have identified the shooter, and I'm going to expound on my thoughts regarding the identification of the shooter. They took out one of their own. They want to start basically a civil war, because you already know that they Proud Boys and beyond. felt that it was a person of color. Even when the FBI, I dropped the first picture, CNN reported with the picture in front of them, it was a male in black, all black clothing. When they couldn't clearly see it was a white male, a European. Now, let me say something. They're going to talk to you guys about freedom of speech and how people should be able to be protected for their thoughts, as long as they're not trying to murder you, rally people against you to plot and murder you. You should be able to have freedom of speech as long as you're not threatening people. I have somebody I want to put right here dead in center. A while back, I did a post on Hulk Hogan, a known racist, a documented known racist. This person that you see on the screen right here is part of a group that I was affiliated with that are so-called, they claim that they love God, the Most High God. These men got so upset that I reported on Hulk Hogan and told the truth, that everybody in the nation knew that Hulk Hogan has spewed out racist remarks. They kicked me out the group and tried to defame my name. This is one of their trolls. Yesterday, I gave you all breaking news on Candace Owens and how she felt about Charlie. As you come into my chat, I have given you disclaimers. I do not have any affiliation with any political party. This person has now come into the chat asking me, why did I speak trash about Candace Owens? There was no trash being spoke about Candace Owens. This is a troll from this group of radical men that target women, black women, and they have sent their troll over here. You have been notified today, troll. We have freedom of speech. You have heard I have told you how I felt on this platform. When you come into this platform, as long as you respect me, you will receive respect. You will get your messages even highlighted on the board. And if I pass you by over and over, send it through a super chat. Participate. Subscribe. But you have your thoughts and your own opinions. When I was part of that group, I, as a woman, could not have my own thoughts and opinions and feel how I felt on one side. Some people felt that Hulk Hogan was not a racist when he obviously apologized for his racist antics. They kicked me out the group and told me that I was a witch and a racist, which is false. Now this person, one of their beloved trolls, has come over into the chat. And he is doing just like some of these people that are out here, some of the people, and this man that you see, Robinson, that has been identified, they become radical. They believe people should not have their own ideals, thoughts, mind. So they come and they troll because they're mad, because they want to control you. Ladies and gentlemen, they wanted to control Charlie. I did not agree with Charlie. I spoke out against Charlie right here on this platform before this incident even happened, about how Charlie lied and said that a black chief in Austin, Texas, was to blame for the floods that happened 2 hours away. He blamed it on a DEI hire, and I reported on that. I report on the news and the facts. I don't sway for opinions of anyone's color. I do not idolize anyone. I have been a public speaker for a long time. I need you to go ahead and hit the thumbs up. Subscribe today. I do not allow trolls and I do not allow threats on my life. This troll has declared a threat. Out of this group, this is the second male that has threatened my life for speaking the truth. This is a threat troll. Ethereal, you're not living forever. You have been notified, and the police that watch this platform and any other platform troll has been notified. We are going to continue to go back to the report and not be disturbed or misdirected, paying attention to trolls who they rock with men who try to control women and their voices and their thoughts. Once again, ladies and gentlemen, welcome in. Charlie's shooter has been identified. Robinson is his name. I need you to participate, not only listen. Hit the thumbs up and subscribe today. And listen, America. We all have our own thoughts, our own opinions. You cannot control no one's thoughts and opinions, because this is where it leads people to. That group I was affiliated with, this is what you're growing in your group. Do you see it now? You're growing Robinsons, assassins, and we just seen it right here in living color. Back to the report.
Thank you, Governor. This is what happens when you let good cops be cops. The FBI and our partners are proud to stand here today together to bring justice to the family of Charlie Kirk and honor his memory. I want to express my deep gratitude to President Trump, the Vice President, and the entire White House who have been so incredibly supportive with both resources and just personally to the FBI as a team. They had our backs the entire way, and I just want to express my gratitude for giving us the resources we need to operate in this space to bring this sort of justice at this sort of speed. In 33 hours, we have made historic progress for Charlie. Governor Cox, our partnership has been absolutely incredible these last few days. Our partnership will endure. Your state and local partners, your sheriffs, your DPS community has been unbelievably impressive in the hardest of times. And a case like this cannot be solved, cannot be brought without partnering with your state and local authorities. The FBI has a certain role to play, and we will play that role, and we will lead out for the federal government. Governor Cox, we are so grateful for your state partnership that led out on this investigation. A little bit of the timeline. Charlie was shot at 12:23 p.m. on Wednesday. The first FBI agents arrived on scene in 16 minutes with chiefs of police at 12:39 and secured the scene. The FBI immediately launched fixed-wing assets. We utilized these assets to transport personnel, specialty technicians, hostage rescue teams. We also utilized these assets to go back and forth from the East Coast and here in Utah to transport forensic evidence and other evidence that will be analyzed and is being analyzed at our FBI laboratories in Quantico and other laboratories, including the ATF. At my direction, the FBI released the first set of FBI photos of the suspect at 10 a.m. local time on 9/11. Then, shortly thereafter, the FBI reward of $100,000 was released at 10:45 a.m. local. Myself and Deputy Director Bongino arrived on the scene at approximately 5:30 p.m. on 9/11. The governor led a press conference last night at approximately 8 p.m., where at my direction, the FBI released a never-before-seen video of the suspect. We also released new images to the public of the suspect. And just last night.
Here we go.
Okay.
Come on.
As the commercials pass, go ahead and hit the thumbs up. Subscribe to the channel today. I am your host, Ethereal. Be mindful in the chat to be respectful. No cursing in the chat. Basic cursing. Okay, you're adults, but no cursing as far as the hard F. You can say damn. damn. Yeah. But be mindful and respectful of the host. Participate. Hit the thumbs up. Drop your comments. If you're overlooked too many times, hit the super chat. Highlight your comment and it will be seen. I have a lot of comments coming in fast and furious. Okay? Furious. If I do not see your comment, do not spam the chat. Hit the super chat. I mean, come on now. I'm being fair and balanced over here. Let's go.
The suspect was taken into custody at 10 p.m. local time. In less than 36 hours, 33 to be precise, thanks to the full weight of the federal government and leading out with the partners here in the state of Utah and Governor Cox, the suspect was apprehended in a historic time period. And I want to highlight what Governor Cox said. This would not have been possible without you, the media, and you, the public. That's why we went so public, so fast, and we're so transparent, and we're committed to that transparency. The crime scene, just a little bit there. It is a large crime scene. State and local authorities, along with federal authorities, processed that crime scene quickly. And I even had the ability to walk through that crime scene and walk through the steps the suspect took to learn more about what was needed and what resources we needed to bear to create a full picture for the FBI and leadership back in Washington. Furthermore, thankfully to state and local partners, forensic evidence has been seized and continues to be garnered. Forensic evidence has already been evaluated at FBI laboratories in Quantico and state and local authorities here. We will continue to process evidence as we see it, as we collect it, and we will continue to deliver to Governor Cox and his team. Last night, we had a total of approximately 7,000 leads. As of this morning, thanks to your great work, we have over 11,000 leads that were called in to the FBI. And we are running out every single lead that we can. Every one of those leads will be run out. The arrest is a testament to the dedication of good law enforcement being great and partnerships in law enforcement, which I've tried to highlight as my tenure as the director of the FBI. There is no better relationship for law enforcement than the FBI to partner with state and local authorities, and you've seen it here in these last few days. The FBI Salt Lake field office, along with our offices in LA, Phoenix, Denver, San Antonio, Las Vegas, Pittsburgh, Buffalo, our headquarters component in Quantico, all participate in the FBI. I want to express my deep gratitude to the employees of the FBI, the men and women, the evidence response team tacticians, the special operators, the agents, the support staff. You have done monumental work in historic time when the public, who had a right to demand such an expeditious solving of an investigation, the FBI answered that call diligently, critically important to our nation, and we delivered. And I'm proud to be their leader, and I'm proud to be the director of the FBI. This is a very much an ongoing investigation, as the governor said, and we will continue to work with state and local authorities to develop the investigation, to provide them the evidence they need for their ongoing prosecutions. And we will be here to answer every call they absolutely have, as long as it takes, for as long as we need to find and apprehend whatever suspects were involved in this crime. Lastly, to my friend Charlie Kirk, rest now, brother. We have the watch, and I'll see you in Valhalla.
Thank you, and good morning. I would just like to take a few minutes as the sheriff to express my gratitude for everybody who has played a part in this investigation. As you know, it's been a vast, a complicated, and a very, very fast-paced investigation. You're looking at people standing up here who are running on, if they got an hour's sleep in the last couple of days, they're probably lucky. It has been very taxing. It has been so impressive, speaking on behalf of the local law enforcement, to see the cooperation that we've seen in this type of case. Across the state, sheriffs, chiefs, our state partners have stepped up and have come to the call on anything that we needed. Our county chiefs have been phenomenal. Our Utah County Attorney, Jeff Gray, who's standing up here with us, has been phenomenal in leading us through this investigation. I would like to thank the federal government for their resources, their assets. Our local team here, our FBI team, has been extraordinary in helping us work through this and bring this person to justice. Most of all, I would like to thank the public, and specifically, I would like to thank the public who turned to prayers and who turned to positiveness for us. I would like to thank them on behalf of the law enforcement community because we needed those prayers. That's what we needed to get through this. We needed your support and you gave it to us. We needed your patience and you gave it to us. And I would like to thank you for the Kirk family because that's what they need, is your support and your prayers, and that will get us through all of this. So thank you everybody for everybody that have stepped up. We've had such a phenomenal response to this. Thank you.
I also want to give a special thanks to the Attorney General and the Department of Justice. Their unwavering support and their commitment to justice is shown true here. And without AG Bondi and Deputy Attorney General Todd Blanche and the resources they brought to bear, we would not have been able to complete our mission. And I just want to say special thanks. It's an honor to be a part of the Department of Justice.
Once again, as they go and get their coins through these commercials, go ahead and subscribe today. My name is Ethereal. I am your host here. Go ahead, subscribe, hit the thumbs up. Matter of fact, I'm going to go check and see if you're participating because the participation needs to match the viewership. We have 695 people in the room over here on YouTube. We are simulcasting on YouTube, Facebook, and TikTok. All platforms need to be participating. Participate. Okay? Subscribe today. Subscribe today. Let's go.
Thank you again to our incredible law enforcement team who has worked so hard. Sheriff, I got a solid 90 minutes last night, so I'm probably the most well-rested person up here. Ladies and gentlemen, I get the microphone, so I hope you'll permit me a moment just to share a few more thoughts about where we are and how we got here and maybe a little bit of where we go from here. I don't want to get too preachy, but I think it's important that we, with eyes wide open, understand what's happening in our country today. I've heard people say, well, why are we so invested in this? There's violence happening all across our country. And violence is tragic everywhere. And every life taken is a child of God who deserves our love and respect and dignity. This is certainly about the tragic death, political assassination of Charlie Kirk. But it is also much bigger than an attack on an individual. It is an attack on all of us. It is an attack on the American experiment. It is an attack on our ideals. This cuts to the very foundation of who we are, of who we have been, and who we could be in better times. Political violence is different than any other type of violence for lots of different reasons. One, because in the very act that Charlie championed of expression, that freedom of expression that is enshrined in our founding documents, in having his life taken in that very act, makes it more difficult for people to feel like they can share their ideas, that they can speak freely. We will never be able to solve all the other problems, including the violence problems that people are worried about, if we can't have a clash of ideas safely and securely. Especially those ideas with which you disagree.
Come on with it.
That's why this matters so much.
That's the truth. Come on, speak
Over
the
the
truth.
last 48 hours, I have been as angry as I have ever been.
Because I'm angry right now about these
As
pearls.
sad as I have ever been.
Come on.
And It was as anger pushed me to the brink. It was actually Charlie's words that pulled me back. I'd like to share some of those. And specifically right now, if I could, I need to talk to the young people in our state, in my state, and all across the country. As President Trump reminded me, he said, you know who really loved Charlie? The youth. And he's right. Young people loved Charlie, and young people hated Charlie. And Charlie went into those places anyway. And these are the words that have helped me. Charlie said, when people stop talking, that's when you get violence. He said, the weak can never forgive. Forgiveness is the attribute of the strong. The only way out of the labyrinth of suffering is to forgive. Welcome without judgment, love without condition, forgive without limit. He said, always forgive your enemies. Nothing annoys them so much. A few months ago, I referenced this last night, Charlie posted to social media, when things are moving very fast and people are losing their minds, it's important to stay grounded. Turn off your phone, read scripture, spend time with friends, and remember, internet fury is not real life. It's going to be okay. He again said, when you stop having a human connection with someone you disagree with, it becomes a lot easier to commit violence. He said, what we as a culture have to get back to is being able to have a reasonable agreement, where violence is not an option. Now, again, to my young friends out there, you are inheriting a country where politics feels like rage. It feels like rage is the only option. But through those words, we have a reminder that we can choose a different path.
Wherever you're headed,
Okay.
Discount Tire wants to get
Thumbs up, thumbs up, thumbs up. Go ahead and subscribe to the channel. Do your part. Participate, participate. If you have something to say, do not spam the chat over and over again. If I do not see your comment, hit the super chat. They start off with the $1.99 all the way up into however much you want to donate when you want to be heard. But do not spam the chat. The comments are coming in very fast. I will highlight them, whether they be of my opinion or not. Okay? Your voice will be heard over here. But do not spam the chat or you will be put in time out. And if you keep spamming the chat, you will be blocked. If you want your voice to be heard that bad, hit the super chat. Support the channel. Go ahead and also support the channel by subscribing today, getting the updates on what is going on in your nation.
Your generation has an opportunity to build a culture that is very different than what we are suffering through right now. Not by pretending differences don't matter, but by embracing our differences and having those hard conversations. I think we need more moral clarity right now. I hear all the time that words are violence. Words are not violence. Violence is violence.
Hello.
And there is one person responsible.
Wait a minute. I need the folks that sent that troll over here to understand words are not violence. Violence is violence. Okay? Now I'm 2 times fold upset right now with giving this report and a troll coming over here threatening my life for reporting for what I do on this platform. Hulk Hogan was a racist. It's reported that he was a racist. If you're coming in late, just sit back. Don't ask no questions. You missed this part of the show. I was not affiliated with no racist group. These brethren act like they were men of the cloth, men of God. No, they are controlling. They want women to be silenced. They are threatened by women with a brain, cells that actually fire off and work. and got mad and tried to defame my name because I gave the report that Hulk Hogan was a racist in his lifetime. And they sent their troll over here to threaten me today. You've seen it. You're a witness to a threat. And you're a witness to a threat right as we are listening to the FBI tell you about Charlie. You don't threaten people's lives for what their opinions and their thoughts, ladies and gentlemen. Now let's continue.
For what happened here. And that person is now in custody and will be charged soon and will be held accountable. And yet, all of us have an opportunity right now to do something different. I want to thank my fellow Utahns. This bad stuff happens. For 33 hours, I was praying that if this had to happen here, that it wouldn't be one of us. That somebody drove from another state, somebody came from another country. Sadly, that prayer was not answered the way I hoped.
I'm sorry. This will be played in its entirety in a few minutes. But ignoramuses that come in, have you not seen me post everyone, whether they be on the left or right or in the middle, comment? That's called freedom of speech. Don't have me cuss you out this morning. I'm trying not to cuss folks out this morning. Get back in line. Let's go.
Just because I thought it would make it easier on us if we could just say, hey, we don't do that here. And indeed, Utah is a special place. We lead the nation in charitable giving. We lead the nation in service every year. But it did happen here. And it was one of us. But I want you to look at how Utahns reacted the last 2 nights. There was no rioting. There was no looting. There were no cars set on fire. There was no violence. There were vigils and prayers and people coming together to share the humanity. And that, ladies and gentlemen, I believe is the answer to this. We can return violence with violence. We can return hate with hate. And that's the problem with political violence, is it metastasizes, because we can always point the finger at the other side. And at some point, we have to find an off-ramp, or it's going to get much, much worse. But see, these are choices that we can make.
When I first moved to America, I never thought I would be building my own house.
Subscribe to the channel today. I'm your host, Etheria. Welcome in. They have caught him. You see his face right there, big and emboldened black, white color. He's been identified. Mr. Robinson, you have been identified. One of their own took him out. One of their own took him out. I talked about this the eve of 9/11. They took out one of their own to set up a martyr. That's right. To set up a martyr for you. They gonna see it was one of their own. And when I'm talking about one of their own, I'm talking about the complexion for the protection of the collection. European, white male. But they still gonna stoke the racism fire. They still gonna stoke the racism fire. Hit the thumbs up. Let me check. Hold on. Cause y'all gonna come in here and participate, or just go ahead and move around. Hit the thumbs up as you come in the building. I'm checking the thumbs up. We need to be matching the likes. The likes need to be matching the viewership. 600 folks is in here. 600 likes should have been in here. We down to 300 now. We steady at 335. Let's get the likes up. Subscribe to the channel today so you can get the latest breaking news. I've been on this case since it broke. I've been talking about Charlie way before this case broke. Okay? So we're going to go back in. We rewind it back. Let me hit it back a little bit. Hit the thumbs up. Subscribe today.
There's no looting. There were no cars set on fire. There's no violence. There were vigils and prayers and people coming together to share the humanity. And that, ladies and gentlemen, I believe is the answer to this. We can return violence with violence. We can return hate with hate. And that's the problem with political violence, is it metastasizes, because we can always point the finger at the other side. And at some point, we have to find an off-ramp, or it's going to get much, much worse. But see, these are choices that we can make. History will dictate if this is a turning point for our country. But every single one of us gets to choose right now if this is a turning point for us. We get to make decisions. We have our agency. And I desperately call on every American, Republican, Democrat, liberal, progressive, conservative, MAGA, all of us to please, please, please follow what Charlie taught me. I'll just conclude with with words I share often from a friend and author, Yuval Levin, who was asked if he was optimistic about our country, and he said, "I'm not optimistic." He said, "I hate optimism." God, that sounds bad. But he said, optimism is a vice. It's this idea that good things are just going to happen. And he said, in the history of the world, good things have never just happened.
Whoa, hold on.
He says, I'm not
Hold on. Let me highlight this real. You want the like button hit? Be a little nicer. Yes, sir. I didn't know that wasn't as nice, sir. I's sorry, sir. How nice, sir, should I be, sir? Huh, sir? What did I do, sir, that wasn't so nice? Please forgive me, sir. Hit the damn like button. Come in here with that foolishness. Let's go.
optimistic, but I am hopeful. And hope is the virtue that sits between the vices of optimism and pessimism. Hope is the idea that good things are going to happen because we can make them so. I still believe in our country. And I know Charlie Kirk believed in our country. I still believe that there is more good among us than evil. And I still believe that.
Let me help you out, give you some direction here. If you're viewing from your phone, double tap your screen. Double tap your screen, and then you'll see a thumb go up. Pop, 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 pop. Double tap your screen right now, ladies and gentlemen. That's your like button. Double tap your screen. Let's go.
We can change the course of history. I'm hopeful because Americans can make it so. Ladies and gentlemen, we're happy to answer any questions you might have.
Can you speak to whether the suspect is speaking with authorities and his demeanor, Tyler Robinson, when he turned himself in?
I cannot speak to that. Well, I will leave that up to you to interpret what those engravings mean. I think the clearest one that says "catch fascist," there's not, and by the way, that's like catch like a ball, catch this. That's I think that speaks for itself.
If you've been injured in a car accident, don't call
All right,
an attorney.
go ahead. This is your time. Double tap your screen. Double tap your screen. Get your likes up. You are free to express your freedom of speech right here on this platform, but keep it nice. Okay? Keep it respectful, especially to the host. Your thoughts will be highlighted But do not spam the chat. If you really want your thoughts to be highlighted on the screen, hit the Cash App or hit the Super Chat. Okay? Clear? Comprende? All right? Subscribe to the channel today so you can get the latest and the greatest in news, sports, entertainment. We do it all over here. It's not just your average boring channel. We are the wild card over here. We have no special niche. I can't fit into a box. So you'll get cooking shows and all of it. Hit the thumbs up. Subscribe today. I'm going to skip the commercials as soon as you participate. Thank you. I know how to work this over here. I'm going to skip the commercials. I need y'all to participate. I need participation as well. Thank you. I appreciate you. Let me know how to skip the commercial.
There's nothing more that we can share at this time.
Anticipate any more arrests?
We do not at this time have any information that would lead to any additional arrests. Yes, but the investigation is ongoing.
How he came into custody of police and where he is right now?
Yes, so right now, Mr. Robinson has been booked into the Utah County Jail. You heard the president this morning report that he was taken into custody, that his family and a friend helped to deliver him into custody of law enforcement in Washington County. Those of you that don't know where Washington County is, it is the southwesternmost part of the state of Utah. It's about a 3.5 to 4 hour drive from here, where we are right now, and that's where he lived and where they turned him in. Please, I go here. I can't share any more than what I've already shared. Yeah. So how we obtained the gun? The gun was found here. So I don't have much more details on that. We do know that he drove. We had his car here on campus, and then we had his car going south back to the St. George. It's actually the city of Washington in Washington County. I'm sorry. We don't have any information that would lead us to believe that. Yes, in fact, it was just released. Yes. I can't answer that right now. Yeah, thank you. Over here.
Thank you.
I absolutely believe that this is a watershed in American history. Yes. The question is, what kind of watershed? And that chapter remains to be written. Is this the end of a dark chapter in our history, or the beginning of a darker chapter in our history? Look, I mean, if you look at true political assassinations in this country of someone of this stature, this feels a lot like the late 60s, and having one so gruesomely displayed on camera in all of our hands and in all of our pockets. We are not wired as human beings biologically, historically. We have not evolved in a way that we are capable of processing those types of violent imagery. And by the way, we've seen another one with a gruesome stabbing very recently that went viral. This is not good for us. It is not good to consume. Social media is a cancer on our society right now. And I would encourage people to log off, turn off, touch grass, hug a family member, go out and do good in your community. That is happening, and it's happening organically right now. Had a friend in a small city in Utah who said, we're getting together. The Republicans and Democrats in my little town are getting together to have a discussion last night, just to find a way to find their better angels. So yes, this could be. I mean, again, you have to go back to JFK to have seen a video live of something like this happening. I wasn't born until 1975, but I know that things were really dark in the late 60s. Sorry to some of you. I know some of you were there, but this is our moment. Do we escalate or do we find an off ramp? And again, it's a choice. It's a choice, and every one of us gets to make that choice. Two more questions right here.
Clarify that the release of those enhanced images at 8 p.m. timeline that Director Patel gave us led to the arrest at 10 p.m. Is there a direct connection between those two events?
I cannot comment if there is a direct connection or not, but all I can say is that that through some process, the family came to know that this had happened.
One more thing, Governor. Could you just clarify the clothing issue you mentioned earlier? Was he changing outfits?
Correct. Yes. So when he's first spotted on campus, he has different clothing on, and then he changes clothing on the roof, and then changed back into that clothing at some point, so that when he was apprehended, when he was arrested, the clothing matched the clothing he had on before the shooting here at UVU. Last question here. Yes.
Suspect was from Utah. Can you kind of tell us a little bit more about where most of the students here at the student and is there any history of mental illness?
Yeah. So I don't have any information on the mental illness part. He was not a student here at UVU. He was living and had lived for a long time with his family in Washington County, in the southernmost part of our state. Thank you, everyone, for your great work in getting this information out. I would just say, process-wise, this may be important. I know many of you aren't familiar with the process in Utah. I think it's important that you understand that. Basically, we have 3 days for charging documents to be filed. A CI will be filed. We'll have more information then, more detailed information as those charging documents are filed in preparation for a preliminary hearing. So 3 days. So we would anticipate then that early next week those charging documents will be filed. We will obviously be working. The county attorney will be working very closely with Mr. Kirk's family as those documents and decisions are prepared and made. Thanks, everyone.
All right. You were just tuned in to the latest. They have identified the suspect, which they did that yesterday. They got him. Robinson, they got you, Robinson. One of their own. Yeah, I know y'all thought it was going to be the so-called Democrats. And y'all, when y'all say Democrats, we're going to be honest. Y'all mean blacks. Y'all mean blacks when y'all say Democrats. Because y'all believe the majority of Republicans is white folk. Rich white folks, that is. We got a few Republicans over there. Well, y'all, I'm not going to say we, because I already gave you my disclaimer at the beginning of the show, the middle of the show. Now we are at the end of the show. Y'all got a few black Republicans over there. But we're going to keep it because y'all like to keep it in colors. I'm going to keep you in the kindergarten class today. I've been telling y'all, get rid of the idea that they are separate. These people work together. Do you understand? You're welcome. These people work together. They are leading you all to a one world order. Soon you will remember my name, Ethereal. Say it with me. Ethereal. Tried to forewarn us. There is no Republican. There is no Democrat. There is no left field, right field, whatever field. There's none of that. Soon you will be under a one world order. That's why they're setting up the play right now, right in front of your face, and you can't see it because you think, yeah, send the National Guard into the urban community, aka black community, aka cities, aka urban cities, aka blacks. You don't care right now. March them on into the cities. Soon it'll be a militarized state. They took out one of their own right on the eve of 9/11. They setting you up again for the play, but a bigger play to lock down you all. You won't be able to walk across the street soon. But you think you understand the play. You think you understand what's going on in America because you still concerned about colors. You don't even understand about deep state. You think President Donald Trump is running it. He's a puppet. Huh. I'm just here to give you the news. They setting you out for the play. They took out one of their own on the eve of 9/11. If you know anything about the history of 9/11, 9/11 was an inside job that helped you lock down America with your traveling. Ooh-wee. That's why you had to be at the airport 10 hours before your flight. They had to pat you down, strip search you, take your shoes off and your socks. They setting up to play again. Who's awake? Who remembered 9/11? That was an inside job. They just stirred the pot up again. They hit the hornet's nest with a bat, America. They hit the hornet's nest with a bat. Who gonna get stung up? I know I talk in parables. Figure it out. Figure it out. Go ahead and hit the thumbs up. Subscribe. And if you're going to catch this on the replay, like you will, because I'm getting ready to be up out of here. I need you to go ahead and subscribe to this channel today. Wake up, America. You're not in Compton. There's no gang members with the red and the blue, the Republican and the Democrat. You all are being led to a one world order. Well, you all will serve one government and one God. Will you take the mark today? You have time to think about it. I am out, and much love. Participate when you come in the building.